Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to today's Committee of the Whole meeting on Tuesday, February 17th. I'd like to welcome members of council, members of staff, members of the media joining us this evening, and everybody who was able to join us virtually. I'd like to call the meeting to order and note the members present. We will begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are gathering on the land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples since time immemorial. We would like to recognize that we are in the Robinson Superior Treaty Territory, and the land on which we are gathered today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. Specifically, we acknowledge the neighboring community of Mishpahton First Nation, for whom we have great respect. We also recognize the contributions of all Indigenous people, including the Métis, in shaping and strengthening the community and province of Ontario. Thank you, and miigwech. We'll now move on to item number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest.
None.
Hearing and seeing none. Item number 3, approval of the agenda. May I have somebody make a motion to approve? Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Arpato. All in favor? Carried. Item number 4, adoption of the minutes. 4.1, Committee of the Whole meeting Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. May I have somebody to make a motion to approve? Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Cannon. All in favor? Carried. Item number 5, business arising out of previous meeting, bear-resistant refuse storage, item 5.1. Craig, the floor is yours.
Okay, so we had the little report that we sent to you. Dan was working on it, I was working on it. We're still waiting for some stuff to come back from the M&R. But any questions on the report that we handed out?
Are there any questions from council? Councillor Hoffman?
No.
Councillor Arpato?
No, I agree with your suggestion though. I like the way that you don't want to put bins on the streets. I think just to educate people, I think is the way that you got to do it.
It's a very delicate, kind of complicated situation. Like most people think if you just put your garbage in a can, the bear's not going to come around, but the bears will.
Well, they haven't paid attention.
We have a hard time to figure out where we're going to put bear cans. Do you want a bear can in your neighborhood?
I was just going to tell you, I
You know
don't.
what I mean? Like, so some people are going to be against it, some people may be for it. We have talked to Shopwell about it. They were in favor of it mostly because they do their own garbage pickups. And now they have less garbage pickups because they only have to go to those
Bins.
big cans and pick up. We don't do that. We have a contractor that does it, so that wouldn't help us at all except add to it. So,
Okay.
we're putting a lot of thought into it. We have till hopefully midsummer before we have any bear problems. Last year was a very perfect storm for the bears. We have had bears before. Last year was incredibly bad. But I think, like you said, Joe, educating the people. We're not going to educate the bears. The bears are there for a survival purpose. Bears are smart. Bears have a smell 7 times stronger than a bloodhound. Bears are repeat offenders. If they find food, they're going to come back to that food. And they won't even remember from last year where that food was. So they will come back if you give them food last year. They will look in your garbage can.
I know people that feed them.
So that's the complex part of it, is
Okay.
if we add more bins to the town, are we just adding more traffic to the town? They may not get into it, but they will come to it. So where are we going to put them? That's the biggest question.
Thank you very much, Craig. Councillor Cannon?
I agree with your option 1, waiting and educating. I mean, you can't make people cut down their apple trees either. I mean,
Yeah.
that attracted them a lot. I saw more bears in the apple trees than in the garbage. So I would like more data before any of this, like what areas were problem, like.
Yeah, that's right. And there was some talk on that, on the areas that were the problems. maybe we gotta concentrate on those areas. But like I say, I am waiting for some stuff to come back from the Ministry of Natural Resources locally here. They're supposed to draw me up a package that I can read over, and then I will, get it forwarded to you, so we can all read it and make a good decision on what we want to do.
Thanks.
Councillor Hatfield?
No, I don't have any.
Thank you very much, Craig, it was a great report. I agree with the opinions of council. What works for one community might not necessarily work for others. I have also spoke with Chapleau, and their program works really well for them, and I think that's great for them. But I really think it was great that we took the initiative after receiving a residents' inquiry and looked into it. First and foremost, I think that's important, and hopefully we can close the loop on that and let that person know that it was discussed, and that we're going to continue to investigate that. I think that's important to let them know that their inquiry was actioned. I think we've talked a lot about how we can make refuge pickup more efficient. And so while the bins in neighborhoods might not be the solution, I'm really looking forward to receiving additional recommendations to council on how we can make it. So is it limiting bags? Is it going to a 2-week pickup or every second week pickup? As I'm saying that, I probably don't think that
might be going the opposite way of what we want, but yes.
But
we have to look at it in the big picture and come up with a good idea, not just because Chapleau, theirs is working, which I've heard 2 different things from Chapleau, and one of them, they're both saying that they worked. I just don't know if it worked in the advantage of what we want, so.
yeah, but I'm really grateful that people are looking at what's happening in other communities, and seeing how we can adapt our operations to other best practices. And I was interested to see what Whitehorse is doing, because there's other communities that are having these problems and they have solutions. So how can we, and correct me if I'm wrong, but 2027 our contract is coming up, correct?
Yes.
So we've got
that's
kind
something
of
that we want to work in.
1 year. So I'm not sure if it's the will of council that we would ask staff to come back with a report within our term to have recommendations that can go to the next council before
Before the 2027 expiry?
Yeah, and I think if we make that if our council asks for that, then it'll be on the record as an action item, and it won't get lost in the system.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
I'm seeing some shaking heads.
Yeah,
Joe
it's good,
or
yeah.
Councillor O'Hara, I'm sorry.
No, I'm good.
Are you good with
Yeah.
that recommendation?
Yeah, I am.
Because it's something that we've talked
Well,
about many
that's right,
times.
and that's something we should follow up on.
Okay. Councillor Hoffman, are you agreeable to that? Councillor Kenneth?
Yes.
Councillor Hatfield? So, Heather, that's something that we'll have to draft a resolution tonight. The council is looking for, to direct staff to come back to council with a report outlining recommendations. I'm not sure if Craig, you're wanting to suggest a timeline for that?
Well, you're saying your term is, and that would be September? Is that?
So
be?
would August be appropriate?
I'm thinking probably we should have something in place before August,
Okay,
maybe July. I'm thinking if we do wind up into a berry problem again, we should know by July if there's gonna be a berry problem and the bears are gonna start moving in, that we should have some kind of a plan in place that we, are we gonna test something, aren't we, what are we gonna do? It was quite encouraging speaking with the MNR and their way of looking at things, and it's just not go out, shoot the bear and get rid of it. That's not what they do. There's certain things that they do to try to prevent bears from causing human problems, interaction.
So I
So
think,
those kind of things were encouraging to hear. I mean, that was a big public outcry about shooting of the bears, and we don't want to shoot bears. Nobody wants to shoot a bear.
no, and I think,
So that was encouraging to hear these kind of things from them. So that's why I'm waiting for their information, so we can give a clear outline on what we want to do and where we want to go with educating everybody and stuff like that.
so just to be clear, I think that the recommendations certainly, certainly should encompass, how we can do our refuge collection, make it more bear-wise, but it certainly should, as we have discussed many times, make our refuge collection more efficient, leading up to our 2027 deadline. So it's not specific to bear-wise, but should encompass bear-wise as well.
I think that was one that we did.
So, and for a timeline, sorry, I'm just, is the end of second quarter, so June 30th, is that reasonable?
I would think so. Yeah, shoot me, but let's see.
Heather, do we have a draft resolution that we can,
Yes.
do you want to read it, or do you want me to,
Right now?
that we can pass? If you want, we can chat GPT something. Can I have somebody move in second? Counselor Cannon, seconded by Counselor Hoffman. All in favor? Carried. So we have a resolution on the table. We just need to understand what the resolution is.
That's right.
And so therefore be resolved.
Yeah, so it's moved by Councilor Cannon, second by Councilor Hoffman. Resolved that the Council of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby recommend staff recommendation on making our records collection more efficient in the future.
And encompass
And encompass.
and the bear-wise
The bear-wise,
recommendation. Carried. All in favor? Carried. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. We will now move into item number 6, monthly reports. There are 4 monthly reports on the agenda today, so I will invite council to ask any questions regarding the information received. And I'll start, as always, with Councillor Hoffman. Thank you very much, Councillor Hoffman. Councillor Rapato?
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. Councillor Cannon?
I just have one for Heather and then for Alex and Kevin. Heather, you say in there on the schedule of fees, you don't want to hopefully pass it March 3rd.
Yes.
Is that going to be, all the things that are under review are going to be settled?
No. No, it would just be what was currently presented to council back on February 3rd. And then for future, we'll have to regroup with the new changes that are currently under review.
Okay, thanks. And Kevin, I don't have much, but well done on the fireworks to you and your team again. They were well received and I heard nothing but good things. And you received a grant.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
So this is the, last year we received the first year of a $30 million grant from the Solicitor General for protective equipment and clothing for things against cancer or cancer agents. This is now the second year of the grant, but they've combined the second and third year, so we now have a grant of double what we had the first year.
Perfect, that's wonderful news. And Alex, just a good job to you and your team on the carnival. I think that was probably one of the best. Everybody seemed to have, and the weather played a big part in that, but well done
Thank you.
to you and your staff.
Thank you very much, Councillor Cannon. Councillor Hatfield?
I have a few small questions. Alex, when are you having the Mat Tax meeting with the motels and all that?
We've actually started to meet monthly now. So we've had 2 meetings so far. The first meeting and the second meeting were all about going over some of the terms and reference and mandate things to make sure that everybody sitting around the table is in alignment with what areas we're looking to focus on, things like that. I've also presented some ideas for programs that committee could offer. And so we've got a meeting coming up this month where we're going to discuss those programs. And then once we've come to agreement around the committee, we're going to make a presentation to council about what programs we'd like to offer, what partnerships we'd like to do with the municipality and other organizations, and just what that looks like essentially.
So is everybody going to the meeting?
Yes, yeah. We are 4 out of 5 right now. So we did an ad looking for that final committee member, hoping to get somebody from like a tourism business or somebody who's had some experience in the tourism sector. We didn't find anybody as part of that ad, but then of course after the ad closed, a couple people came forward and said they were interested. So we essentially extended that and encouraged those people to submit, and we're going to review at the next meeting to try and get that 5th member in place.
Yeah, the Mat Tax committee asked me to, they said, there is one more person that should have been added. I said, just add them. I said, it's not a big deal. They can, you know, you want to have one more, you can have one more. And you're having a meeting with the groups, different groups, to see what we can do with the cost of the arena and everything?
Yeah, so part of what's under review in the schedule of fees is specifically the curling fees. So we've been in initial talks with a couple of the curlers, but we're trying to arrange a meeting with the curling executive to go over those fees and specifically like what we do for bonds deals and how that all works before coming to council with a recommendation.
Now, Heather, I spoke to you this morning about 50. I just about flipped when I seen you want the rink to go up to 50%. When it's at 10%, you know, everybody, I said nobody could afford to go that high. But you said it's a goal. It doesn't necessarily going to be all at once. So I was happy to hear that because I thought, oh my God, you can't go up another 40%. Everybody just financially wouldn't be able to do it. And I just have one small one. Your park and the mission, but you have all the money for it, eh? The township doesn't have to, okay. And I believe that's everything, thank you.
So Alex, I'll ask a follow-up question to Councillor Hatfield. When you say we are having a meeting, you're not referring to the municipality, you're referring to the Mat Tax group that Superior East is managing, correct?
That's correct, yeah. So I am the municipal representative on that committee, and that is a committee of the Superior East Community Futures Development Fund. Myself, 2 representatives from the hotel industry, and 1 short-term rental are currently on that group, and we're looking for the final member from the tourism business, and hopefully have that spot filled for the next meeting.
And who manages that group?
So Heidi is our admin person from the SCFTC, and the group is under the SCFTC.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for that clarification.
What do you mean by that, Mayor?
So the Superior East Community Futures Development Corporation, they're located on Ganley Street, right?
Yeah.
They manage the Mat Tax group. So they manage the members going in and out, and they manage the terms of reference.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I thought you were saying the group themselves are not being, how can I put this right? The group is going to be running it. and Superior East is taking care of the money. And Alex is gonna work with them because we're hoping to combine both. Sometimes you may be able to combine monies from your group and the township and everything.
Yeah, we're
No.
certainly hoping to work in partnership
Yeah.
with some
Yeah.
of the programs,
Okay, so-
especially when it comes to grants.
But they're still their own entity though.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to get that straight in my head, thank you.
But the corporation is held by Superior East, so they
Yeah.
didn't make their own corporation.
No,
Heather, I had a question around, town suite?
Council, yeah.
You, mentioned in your report that you're continuing to test in preparation for it to go live in the next month. Can you tell me more about that?
Did
That
it say
sounds,
the next month? That's incorrect.
Okay.
If it does say the next month, that's definitely incorrect. We were hoping to continue the testing in the next month to kind of finalize it before we can go live. Our goal is to get it done hopefully by June
okay.
is our goal.
That is very exciting because I know how much work has been going into that, so, I really look forward to that CRM going live. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Awesome. That'll be really exciting. And I just echo Councillor Cannon's sentiments, about, congratulations to Alex and his team and to everybody in their team. I know, infrastructure and the fire department, everybody has to put their best foot forward to pull off, such a great winter carnival. And it's, I was so sad to not be able to partake because I've heard that it was such a good winter carnival. But I'm so glad to hear wonderful things about everybody. So
Nice to see the town together.
yeah,
Yes.
streets looked awesome, sidewalks were great, businesses were full of people, so, thank you very much to everybody. So we'll now move on to item number 7, new business. There is no new business today, so our next meeting date is Tuesday, March 3rd. And item number 9, adjournment, close of meeting, 9.1. May I please have a mover? Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Rapato. All in favor? Carried. And we'll now take 1 minute to move into our regular council meeting agenda. Item number 1, call the meeting to order and note members present at 6:53 p.m. Item number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3, approval of the agenda. 3.1, approval of the agenda.
It was moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Cannon, resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of council scheduled for Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Announcements and giving of notice. There are many announcements listed on the agenda. I encourage everybody to please take a look. Are there any announcements from council today? Seeing none, I will move on to item number 5, adoption of minutes. 5.1, regular council meeting, Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. May I please have someone we have a resolution. Thank you.
It was moved by Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Hoffman, resolved that the following minutes of meetings of council be adopted as presented. Minutes of the regular meeting of council held on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, as contained in pages 1 to 7, inclusive of the minute book.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 6, correspondence. We have 5 items of correspondence listed on our agenda today. Heather, I'll ask if you wanted to highlight anything specific for council today.
So there was a couple that I'm going to highlight today, and I know one of them that touches dear to us here is with the labs, the life labs. So we did receive from Phenom in regards to a resolution for the Greater Sudbury area because they are planning on closing their life labs there as well. So there was just a resolution to just state how important it is for us in the north to have this service for us, especially due to the timing and how some of our labs have to be very quickly done. And where we are right now, it's an issue, and it's an issue as well for the greater Sudbury area.
Go ahead, sorry.
Any questions there? And then the other one I wanted to highlight was the Wawa Heritage Committee resolution that was presented to us as well. So the committee itself had a resolution in regards to recognizing the Mackenzie Bethune Cemetery in regards to getting it to designation of a National Historic Site and Monument Branch. So they're looking to prepare increased visitations to the site, and they're asking council for, recommending council, mayor and council to ask municipal staff to do some research on the cost and potential for following enhancements to the cemetery itself. And there was a list of them there in regards to the doors, some landscaping, enhancing the trail for access to the cemetery, and installing a handrail as well. So I wanted to bring that forward as they are requesting for staff.
So with regards to that, that correspondence, do we have a resolution or a motion to action that request?
It's not on the agenda, but we can do that request forward for staff.
I believe that it's the will of council. I'll ask council now if they are interested in supporting the request in item 6.5 correspondence.
Yes.
Councillor Hoffman?
Yep.
Councillor Pato?
That's to have staff look into it and see, yes.
Councillor Cannon?
Yes, I'd like to see staff look into it with a report.
Councillor Hatfield?
I'm on that committee, and I was understanding that we were going to hopefully get some help from the MAT tax. Is that changed?
So that might have been a hope by the committee, but the request says that all the request is asking for is that that council defer it to staff to investigate it,
Okay.
and that could possibly be a
How much would it
recommendation.
be?
But at this point, the only recommendation is that staff investigate. Is council certainly interested in having the request deferred to staff? Should we, very similarly to the Bear request, should we pass a resolution?
We can.
We can also just take that as direction.
We could just take it as direction as well, yeah. That's-
Okay,
I think that was the intent, was just to do the direction.
okay. Okay, and I just wanted to point out item 6.1. Craig, you might know best. Is this the location right adjacent to the community center?
Yes, it's the old substation. It's there, they're existing right now. They're gonna revamp it, and bring it up to standards.
Okay,
I don't know if it's going to be set back a ways, because it looks like they have to keep the other one in operation until this one's completed.
okay.
But I think it's gonna grow a bit in size, but it'll still be within the containment area.
Well, that's good news. It'll certainly make it look nicer and maybe update the curb appeal at that Mission Road location. Great news. Does council have any questions regarding the correspondence?
No.
Seeing none, we will move on to item number 7, consent agenda. 7.1, approval of the consent agenda.
It was moved by Councilor Hoffman, second by Councilor Cannon, resolved that the items listed under the consent agenda 7.2 to 7.4 be approved as recommended.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 8, new business. 8.1, adopt and endorse Wawa Strategic Plan 2026 to 2027.
It was moved by Councilor Hoffman, second by Councilor Cannon, resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby adopt and endorse the Municipality of Wawa Strategic Plan 2026 to 2027.
Is there any questions or comments?
Good.
All in favor? Carried. Item 8.2, receive and endorse the 2025 wastewater performance annual report.
It was moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Rapato. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby receive and endorse the 2025 Wawa wastewater performance annual report.
Questions?
I just have a comment.
Councillor Cannon?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say to Dan and Craig and the team, like Dave, Jose, and Shane, working in the waterworks and the wastewater is not an easy job. I mean, there is a lot of responsibility comes with that job. So well done to all of you.
I'll pass that on.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Cannon. All in favor? Carried. There are no items under number 9, notice of motion. Item number 10, bylaws.
It was moved by Councillor Rapato, seconded by Councillor Hatfield. Resolved that the following bylaws be introduced and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed, and that the mayor and clerk do hereby do sign and seal that the mayor and clerk do sign and seal the same, any rule of this council to the contrary notwithstanding. Bylaw number 3854-26 to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on the 17th day of February 2026. Bylaw 3855-26 to deem part of registered plan of subdivision or part thereof not to be a registered plan or of subdivision pursuant to section 50(3) of the Planning Act, 75 to 81 Broadway. Bylaw number 3856-26 to enter into an agreement with Basic Building Supplies Inc. Respecting the site plan agreement for 75 Broadway Avenue, Wawa, Ontario.
Questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Item number 11, next meeting date, 11.1, Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. Item number 12, adjournment, 12.1, close of meeting.
A seconder here. Mayor, may I ask for a seconder for this one, please?
Councillor Hoffman.
Thank you. It was moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Hoffman. Resolved that the meeting close at 7:02 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much for everybody's hard work. Have a great evening and enjoy the spring weather.